Good afternoon. It's October 31st, 2022, and you can see today we just had a range day. Um, yeah, that's all there really is to it. It looks like we might have had, I was going to say consistency with the lows down here, but this is a different low. So really choppy. Just, you want to, I think you want to get in early. First, I want to say I drew my channel differently than Mac. So I don't know if anyone looks at his mid morning charts, but he had it drawn differently. It's not like either of us are wrong. I would definitely, if I were someone else watching this, I would definitely take his not more seriously, but more professionals probably see it the way he sees it. But I know that other people that played it the way I played it here. You can see these lows and the highs play. It's a valid trend channel for sure. You can see midline, prices responding to it. So you have a break and a couple legs down, and then it reverses. So anyway, just wanted to talk about that. Let's see. So 5 o'clock comes in when we're making this move down after the break. And you get this. This kind of looks like a second entry short. So it's not, but it kind of looks like it. So you might take that one. And then here, you get a second entry short up here, but it's going right into that EMA. It's congested. But when we get this lower high, you might consider taking that to test these lows. And then around the opening, we're pretty much just chopping sideways. So I'm not too crazy about any of this. This is very congestive. Come up here, first entry, failed second entry, but it really just looks like a range. It doesn't look like a failure. But if you look at this as a double top, first entry, failed second entry, that confirms that trend line. Take that, very good signal bar. That gets you a nice move down. You get the second entry short here, but it's after the break. I would wait on a lower high, and by this time it looks sideways, so I don't think you want to take this. And then you come up here and you get this failure, but look at all this stem on this. So that's like 4 overlapping bars. Just not a good idea. And you can see with that doji, true doji right there, they trap all these people. And I mean, you're just in a range. So I don't think you want any of this. I don't think you want this failure. You're going into the lows. Um, this doesn't look like a trend channel. Oh, you can see that actually is in a trend channel, but it doesn't. It looks like you're going into the lows of that channel, so it's just not something I would like to take. And you actually get a failure right here, and I mean, I'll mark that. You're going into swing highs, but it does look like maybe you'll test the highs of this range looking area. So you might take that. But then when we come up here and you get a first entry, failed second entry, I like this one. Confirms that trend channel. And it looks like they probably trapped a lot of longs. So I like that. Then we get a break and it's just going sideways. You come up here, first entry. I don't know why I marked this area. Oh, because technically that's a failure, like first entry, failed second entry. But that looks way too far of a move, so I probably wouldn't take that. Um, so that's probably why I marked it. It's because technically it's a failure. Second entry doesn't set up. And you get a bounce here. First entry, second entry. That's below the EMA. Not a good signal bar. Uh, and none of this looks good. You got to overshoot. Second entry long. You might consider this one, but you're just kind of in no man's land because you'd probably be playing this larger range at this point, or larger channel, excuse me, and it hasn't hit the top of that channel and it hasn't come back to the lows of that channel. So I think you're getting into dangerous territory there. But then when it keeps going up and you get this first entry, second entry long, it's close to that trend channel and room to these highs. So I think you take that, and that turns out to be a good move. And then the floor falls out here. And you get a two-legged pullback, but there's just no setup. I mean, it looks like this is a second entry short, but I don't think you have on this 2000 tick chart. I don't think you can take that the way it's set up. So we're expecting a move or an attempt to make a new high, but you get this big sell-off. I don't think there's an entry in there. And then we form this range down here. So you might have taken this second entry short. That's a failed break higher. But you're going into that EMA. It's just not the greatest entry, but it looks pretty good. Definitely aggressive. We move up here, get a break, move to a new high. It reverses. But this kind of looked like we were going to try and make a new high of this channel up. And so when this move down failed and you get this reversal pattern, I like that for 4 ticks because of this midline of the overnight highs and lows. But you actually do get 2 points out of that. But yeah, I like that for 4 ticks. Now we come down here, and at this point, when it doesn't make a new high, I marked this, but I think you gotta sit this out. It's just so much stemmy bars, and I think you just gotta sit out. It just looks like a range. You make this double top, first entry, failed second entry, way too far from the EMA. You come down here, so I think channel is probably something like that. You get a break, one leg to a new low. You get this first, second entry. That looks pretty good to me. But you got to be careful. I mean, you can see that it fails to make 2 legs down to a new low. But that looks like 2 legs of correction, so it looks good to me. But we just keep going higher. You can see this is like a spike in channel up. It could be like that. And really, I mean, I said it's a spike in channel, but really it's probably just a channel. They trapped a bunch of people right here. Matter of fact, I mean, this looks like a failure right here to me. So I'll mark that aggressive, but that looks like a failure. And that's all I see. So not a whole lot going on today and like Thursday and Friday, I think, maybe even Wednesday of last week. There just isn't a lot of volume for whatever reason. So hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.